again. Welcome to session 3 of Unit 6, Module 2, Classifying Quadrilaterals, Part 2. I know you guys were looking forward to Part 2 because we finished Part 1 yesterday and it was riveting, right? So, yesterday we talked about how to classify certain quadrilaterals based on sides, based on angles, whether they were congruent, parallel, all sorts of adjacent sides, all sorts of new words that we learned. Today, what we're going to do is we're going to classify them even more, at least be able to recognize what we're talking about. You'll need your student book, and I'm going to also ask you to do some work on a Venn diagram. You guys remember what a Venn diagram is? That's two circles that are connected together with the similarities in the middle. On quadrilaterals, in your math notebooks. When we get done, you will have student workbook pages 229 to do, but also Home Connections comes back into play with pages 121 and 122. I'm just going to switch this into present mode. So when you, and we're going to go back and forth on the Bridges website and this one, so just bear with me. All right, so when you look at this shape, based on what you know about yesterday or what we learned yesterday about what this shape is, go ahead and write all the things you know about this shape in your math notebook. Go ahead and pause the video and write as much as you can. All right, welcome back. So now let's see, true or false, of what you know about the hierarchy of shapes and polygons and quadrilaterals. Are these statements true or false? Okay, we're going to go through them one at a time, and I want you to write your answers down in the box or in your notebooks. Feel free to draw that shape too. It's a pretty easy shape to draw. So, number 1, is this shape a quadrilateral? After each time I read a question, pause the video, write your answer down, and then start it up again to see and check your answer over. Is this shape a quadrilateral? True or false? True. But now justify it. How do we know it's a quadrilateral? Because it has 4 sides. Right? Pretty easy. All right. Is this shape a trapezoid? Pause the video, answer the question. No, it is not. This is false. How do you know? Because a trapezoid has 1 pair of parallel lines or sides. Remember, this is parallel to this is parallel to that, right? So that would be false. This shape is a polygon. That would be true. How do you know? Because it is a closed figure, right? All the sides are connected, right? And no curved edges. Right? It doesn't look like this, right? All right, now is this shape a parallelogram? Pause the video. True, it is a parallelogram. How do you know? Because it has 2 sets of parallel sides. Is this shape a rhombus? Pause the video. False. It does not have 4 congruent sides. This shape is a rectangle. Pause the video. True. Why? Because it has four right or congruent angles. This shape is a square. Pause the video. False. Because it has four right angles, but all sides are not congruent. All right, nice job with that. Okay, hopefully you got all the same answers. That looks very similar to the pre-test question that we did with the rhombus. Remember that? All right, so we're going to go ahead and give you some time. Pause the video, and I want you to put all of the shapes in your notebooks that match this page over here. So write the letters in. So for instance, my letters that are quadrilaterals are A, C, F. I should do it. A, B, C, D. Oh, they all are. E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, and N. There you go. All right, which shapes are trapezoids? Pause the video. Trapezoids would be E, F, J, and H. Are there any other ones? All right, which of these shapes are parallelograms? They have two sets of parallel lines. Pause the video. A, C, D, B, G, I, M, and K. All of those shapes are parallelograms. Did you get all those? All right, which shapes are kites? Remember, adjacent sides are congruent. So sides that touch each other are the same. Pause the video. A, B, G, M, K. Are there any other ones? Oh, N. That one's the obvious kite. That has the same shape of a kite. I think that's about it. All right, which shapes are rectangles? They have four right angles in it, 90 degrees. Pause the video. A, C, I, and there's a tricky one in there, M. Each one of these are 90-degree angles, right? All right, which shapes are rhombuses? Remember, a rhombus has four congruent sides, meaning four sides that are the same length, right? Set A, B, G, M, K. Are there any other ones? I don't think so. All right, so now we are looking for shapes that have four right angles and are rhombuses. They have four equal sides. That would be shape A and shape M. I don't believe there are any more. All right, did you get all those? I hope you did. All right, let's move on to the next one. So we're going to be sorting, and what I'd like you to do is we're going to go back here to our Bridges website, and they have a quadrilateral or a Venn diagram for us to use. And what I'd like you to do is we are going to compare and contrast. Look what's similar and what's different between these sets of shapes. Okay, so for instance, we'll start with trapezoids and quadrilaterals. All right, so I'm going to go back here, but what I'd like you to do is to um, copy these down: quadrilaterals, trapezoids, comparing them to parallelograms, parallelograms to rectangles, rectangles to rhombuses, kites to rectangles, and kites to parallelograms. So we are going to look at the different parts of each one of these using quadrilaterals and trapezoids. So what do we know about what are similar between quadrilateral and trapezoids? Go ahead and pause the video and do a Venn diagram for this. Okay, remember quads have 4 sides and trapezoids have 4 sides, right? They are classified, they are polygons. Trapezoids have what? What makes a trapezoid a trapezoid? A trapezoid has one set of parallel sides. So if I go back and I take a look at my shapes here, I'm going to put a square. Where would I put a square? If this was quad and this was a trapezoid, I'd put a square in the quadrilateral side. How about a rhombus? Where would I put a rhombus? I would put that here. How about the rectangle? The rectangle I'm going to put right here. How about this? This is a trapezoid, right? This trapezoid, it is still a quadrilateral, so I'm going to put that right there. How about this shape? Where am I going to put that one? I'm going to put that one right here. How about this shape? This rhombus, quadrilateral. How about this one? Predict. This is a trapezoid. I'm going to put it right here. What about this one? This rectangle. Am I going to put that in a trapezoid? No, because it has 2 parallel sides. How about that one? That one looks like a triangle with a top cut off. So I'm going to put that here in a trapezoid. Okay. How about this one? Correct. How about this one here? It's a quadrilateral. That's all that is. Square. Okay. We'll have that there. And then the last one is a kite. Where would a kite go? There you go. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to load each one of these shapes into your document, and you have to go over the rest of these. Okay. You have to spend some time making a Venn diagram for trapezoids and parallelograms. Which ones are similar? Which ones are different? For parallelograms and rectangles, rhombuses and rectangles, kites and rectangles, and parallelograms and kites. Please put one of them in. You can take a picture of it on your Chromebook and put it up on Seesaw. That will be that will be posted and ready for you, or at least we can kind of assess if you are doing this well. All right, so let's take a look. Page student book, page 228. This one's a little different, a little difficult. It explains everything. If you kind of take a look at how this is kind of set up, but label each shape within your diagram, right? And try to describe each shape. So why is it? See what I see here, right? This is a quad. That's a quadrilateral. And this here, right? This is a trapezoid, right? And then this is a parallelogram because I know that our shapes are, they have two sets of parallel lines. Within the parallelogram, we have four more shapes. We have a rectangle, right? A square, and a rhombus. Oh no, I'm sorry. This is a kite with a rhombus. All right, so fill yours in exactly how that is. And so talk about and discuss in your mind or with somebody around you why a trapezoid is inside the quadrilateral but not in the parallelogram. Pause the video. It's not inside the parallelogram because the trapezoid does not share the properties of a parallelogram. You're going to have to excuse my spelling too sometimes if I'm working real fast. So number 3 says, why are rhombuses and rectangles inside of a parallelogram? Pause the video. They are inside of the parallelogram because they have two sets of parallel sides. Number 4 says, why are there two squares inside inside the rhombus and one inside the rectangle? So how come there's one here and how come they're here? Pause the video. Because a square is a rhombus and a rectangle, right? Equal sides, rhombus. 4 right angles, rectangle. And then it says for number 5, write at least 2 observations to explain why shapes in the diagram have been placed where they are and are in relationship to how they are in relation to each other. All right, so finish up number 5, and then you are done with today's lesson. All right, so for your extra work today, student book, page 229. Which is right here. You're going to be constructing some quads. Make sure that you are labeling sides and answering the questions as well as you can. And also in Home Connections, page 121 and 122, when you are done, you can go on to Unit 6 resources and the April number corners. I know it doesn't say April number corners. I'll get that changed as soon as possible. Those links can be found within your document. We were also going to be including some eSpark activities that you can do to continue working towards those high fives. There's always Moby Math. for those of you that want to be challenged and do a little bit more. And we'll be assigning Prodigy questions that fit the lessons that we're teaching. So look for that then. Enjoy your day today and enjoy math.